Welcome to the PACWEST's Best in Class, highlighting student athletes that are leaving their mark on athletics and academics across the conference.
It's a PACWEST Best in Class, catching up with a veteran of the PACWEST in his fourth season with the VIU Mariners, Isaac Bevis. Hi, Isaac.
Hey, how's it going?
Must be tough, hey, not playing this year with your fourth year, expecting to play, going through that whole routine of knowing when to play, when to start to train, but not having that this year must be completely different for you.
Yeah, for sure. It was really hard. And then just kind of like going through the motions and then waiting to the very last minute for the season to be canceled in October. For sure. It was difficult.
You find you have more time on your hands?
You'd think that, but I don't feel that way somehow. It's weird how that works, but you just, volleyball is just so easy. It's kind of like an outlet. It's not like a chore or anything. So it's not like I feel like I have that extra time.
So in your fourth year now at VIU, why choose to go to VIU in the first place?
Well, so I grew up in Nanaimo and I watched, the program there for probably 15 years. My dad used to coach the women's team and I was able to get an academic scholarship. So it made it pretty easy to decide.
With your dad having the history that he does, were you allowed to go to anywhere else? Were you allowed to go to
I'm not sure. Good thing we never came across that.
So kinesiology is the program of choice. Why get into that program?
I'd really like to own my own business one day and be a practitioner. I like the freedom that offers, and I'm just passionate about sports and, helping people like many of us are who are student athletes.
That may be closer than you think, right? In your fourth year, you're almost graduating, then you actually have to start working.
Yeah, I'm really close. This is my fourth year, but almost my last year. I'm only coming back for the spring next year, so I'll be taking the fall off just because I only have 8 credits left till I graduate. So,
is volleyball still in the picture next year?
Yeah, still in the picture.
Have your teammates allowed you to work on them, practice on them at all? Going through the program that you're in?
I haven't done too much on them, but I do help occasionally. Like if they need help with homework and stuff, I'd say I'm always like offering that kind of sort of support.
You must have a bit of a challenge as a student athlete in your fourth year. You're on the road a lot. You have to leave the island a whole bunch of times to play. What are some of the challenges that you do face as a student athlete?
Yeah, I think just what you said is having your weekends taken away. Usually that's when I'm doing all my homework, but when we're playing Saturday and coming home late on Saturday night, there's not as much time for that. So
have you
just
gotten
the time
good?
Crunch?
Have you gotten good or accustomed now to reading on the bus and the ferry and doing homework in those, any nook that you can find?
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer when you think that you have to do homework on the ferry, but it's kind of the reality sometimes. So for sure. So
I asked you if you have more time on your hands. You don't, but knowing that routine that you've done all your life, you get ready at this time of the year for volleyball. Will it be tough getting back into the swing of things next spring when you do get back into volleyball and have class again?
I think it will be, I don't know if it'll be tough, but it will be different for sure. Just because I am taking the fall off, like I've never experienced not being in school. I've been in school for 17 years in a row, right? Since kindergarten, like it's kind of all I know in September. And so that will be new for me, but I'm looking forward to expanding upon my life and doing some other new things. So
what are some of the tools that you use as a student athlete to keep yourself on track in a non-COVID year? What would you use?
I like to use the calendar that's sitting right under my laptop right now. I'm actually a pretty organized person, so I take pride in being organized, and I like to write stuff down so I know when it's due and stuff like that.
Yeah, knowing what you know now, and if you could go back in time and talk to a younger Isaac, what would you say? When would you do it all over again?
Good question. I would most definitely do it all over again. Of course, there's little things I would change like along the way. I would do it all over again with VIU, with the program that I'm in. It's all worked out great so far. So
now what would you tell yourself? And would you listen to yourself?
Yeah. I think I would tell first year, second year university Isaac, in the volleyball sense, like to be more like demanding of roles and playing time and like leadership roles and stuff like that, or like push myself more to be a big factor on the team.
So now what? Now we know that there's no season. We're coming in here spring, summer. What do you do to stay volleyball ready and to be in shape when the season does come back around?
Yeah, so I'm going to work for BC Wildfire Service again for my 4th year. And so I'll be able to use, like, we just made a brand new gym facility that's, you know, I basically get to use it by myself, which is not much, which is a lot more than what other people can say. I'll have like a squat rack to myself and all that. So staying in shape with that job's pretty easy, actually, because fire days are long too.
You're alone in the gym, you're alone in your house doing online schooling.
Yeah.
You gotta get some social interaction.
Yeah, totally.
So what do you do for the BC Wildlife Service?
I'm basically on an initial attack crew, and we're just fire ready all the time, and then getting called out to fires in the forest and actioning those.
Stay on the island pretty much the entire summer with that, or do they send you to wherever the hot spots are?
Yeah, they'll send you around quite a bit. I've been to Ontario and the mainland. They might have a different plan this year just because they're not trying to ship people around because of COVID, but we'll see about that. I like going on, seeing the different parts of the province and stuff, so hopefully.
Unfortunately, it's not really for the best of reasons all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a paradox, right?
Yeah. Well, listen, thanks for doing this. Continued success in the study room, and hopefully we'll see you on the floor in the fall.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the spring.
Spring, but you're playing volleyball in the fall, are you not?
We'll see. We'll see what I'm allowed to do, if I'm allowed to train with COVID as like kind of an outsider. Yeah, we'll see how it all goes down.
Well, then we'll see you in the spring.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
The PACWEST's best in class, highlighting the men and women of the PACWEST Conference. To learn more, visit pacwestbc.ca.